Welcome to Where Stories Breathe and Truth Speaks. I am Ejiro, storyteller, voiceover artist, and truth teller. Let's make meaning together. What if I told you a demon assigned from birth could wait 31 years just to destroy your purpose? That your downfall might not be because you failed, but because you were chosen for something bigger. Prophet Suddenly 3 isn't just a movie, it's a spiritual wake-up call. It's the story of Minister James, a gospel singer who fell from grace not by accident, but through spiritual attacks, pride, and lack of discernment. This film shows us that life is deeply spiritual. The moment you start walking in your purpose, hell takes notice. James was meant to lead nations in worship, but one wrong altar, one greedy decision, one moment of losing control, and his glory was trapped. But this story isn't just about him. It's about a warning for every Christian who's been called by God. Now here's my review. Now let me be real. This movie didn't show me things I didn't already know, but it stirred my spirit and reminded me again how spiritual life really is and how important it is to stay aligned with God's purpose. For some ministers and Christians, the reason they live trapped glory lives is because they lack control, discernment, and contentment, and sometimes, greed. And this movie isn't just about music ministers. No, it's a wake-up call for every believer who wants to follow God's plan without falling into a trap. One thing that really hit me was when Minister James ministered in Kenya. You see this huge congregation full of people who genuinely believed they were serving God. But here's the catch: they are actually part of a cult and demonized without knowing it. And honestly, that's how it is for many Christians today. They think they know God, but they have been caught in the wrong system all along. Then there's that chilling moment when the pastor leaves Minister James waiting for his payment while secretly going into his shrine to summon a demonic spirit. This spirit had waited 31 years just to crush James because of greed and lack of discernment. It's a powerful reminder. Not every prayer, not every laying on of hands is from God. Many Christians are trapped because they attended the wrong gatherings without testing the spirits. Child of God, we have to test all spirits. Minister James fell hard because he opened the gateway for the enemy through lust, greed, pride, and losing control. Sadly, these struggles are very real for many believers today. But here's the hope. He ran back to God. He realized God was his only true source. And isn't that the place we all need to come back to when we fail? God's the one to run to. But restoration didn't come immediately. James had to relocate to the USA and even become an Uber driver. Yes, an Uber driver to learn lessons and prepare for what God had next for him. Sometimes God waits for us to rededicate ourselves before he redirects our paths. About that part where James lost his spiritual covering because of his pastor, let him go. He said, I release his spirit. I want to say something here. I don't believe losing a pastor's covering means losing God's protection. That only happens if we leave God's presence and walk in sin, which James was doing. But God is the one who covers his children, not pastors. Pastors are guides, but God is the ultimate protector. Honestly, I don't believe in the idea of a spiritual father the way it's often taught. Well, here's my final take on this. This movie is a wake-up call to guard your heart. Pride, greed, lust, and a lack of discernment can trap even the most anointed. But God's grace is always there to restore us when we fall. He might ask us to wait and prepare, but he never abandons his children. So if you find yourself feeling run back to God, wait on Him, and get ready for your next assignment. If this spoke to your heart or stirred your thoughts, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe, follow, and share. Let's build a community that values clarity, purpose, and authentic voice. Your support turns this message into a movement.